first slide. What is Destination Management Organization, the DMO? Many people talks about it, but originally it's a system from Austria and Switzerland, where in 1990s they had a problem with incoming tourism. So the numbers get lower, and they started a new way to manage tourism in the area, and they started the first DMOs in Europe. So it's a system that's some 30 years old, and also in Austria they are increasing and involving the system continuously. What is DMO? It's a form of management of certain area, the destination. That's why the destination is in the name. And the aim of this organization is to increase the effectiveness of activities that are related to tourism. It's the management part of the DMO. It's a set of techniques, tools, and measures that's about the planning, organization, and other activities in the destination. It's more about coordination than about marketing. So when you see this, there is no word marketing inside. It's not only about printing materials or managing a website. It's about planning, organization, communication, and decision making process. That's the management organization, the DMO. Why to use DMO, or why to support DMO? Destination Management Organization has possible results when the process is started and when the DMO is working. Then it ensures the sustainable and competitive tourism products. What it means? That means that the products for tourism are combined with different employers, with different hotels, restaurants, and also attractivities in the region. And it's managed the way it stays in the region. So the DMO can bring the tourist to what the DMO wants to see. It's about jointly shared logo. That means that it has the region or the destination and what's one label, and everybody knows where to communicate. It was, for example, in South Bohemia, when we started the system 4 years ago. The main advantage the accommodation and restaurants told us is that finally they knew who to contact when they need something. Quality label, the destination management organization, if the work is done correctly, then you have a set of measurement tools, and you can also watch the quality in the region. uh, Possibly it has possibility to have a reservation system, or not the DMO's owned system, but also to cooperate with private sector with the reservation systems like Booking and other ones. It has a strange impact on pricing policy, because yeah, the DMOs can force the tourists to go where the destination wants. So it's also to increasing the prices and to have a higher income from tourists in the region. Uh, many problems in Czech Republic is that we didn't have numbers, and we had problem to say, well, who is better, where the tourists move, where it is, and how to work with it. So one of the big points is also the data collection on the field of tourists. Now we have completely completed numbers of visitors on every attractivities in the region. We know where people sleep, not only in the big hotels, but also to the smallest capacity on the base of cell phones and other numbers that are very important on preparing a strategy and preparing new products. Initiation of public and private partnership in tourism, a very important point because the tourism is made by the entrepreneurs, by the private sector. The public sector makes opportunities and potential. So the attractivities, the walkways, the other things that are made from the public sector is used by the private sector, and it has to be on one direction. And also support for professional associations, organizations. That is also very important. The communication not only inside of the destination but also outside. So even the DMOs between can cooperate and to make, for example, bigger products. When I say an example from South Bohemia, uh, we have 11 DMOs here, and five of them cooperate on one touristic product, which are divided into those DMOs, but making the product together to have higher income from tourists from a larger area. Destination. The word destination in DMO is very important. It's the first start has to be what is the destination. The destination in the narrower sense is the target area in the region that is characterized by a significant offer of touristic attraction and tourism infrastructure. That means that it has not to be just political and or some kind of border attractivities, but it has to be area that is characterized and significant for something. So, for example, the mountain area that is working together and has attractivities that can be connected together. That means some destination, and it has to be very strictly be on the map, because then you start to working inside of the destination. In a broader sense, it's more broader, countries, region, and other areas with a concentration of attractions, developed services, and other tourism infrastructure, which will be can be offered to visitors. For international visitors, the zoom of the area is more larger. So when you speak about domestic tourism, then it has can be a micro region as a DMO. For international visitors, the whole country can be destination as well. Another example, in Czech Republic, we have the national GMO, that's Czech tourism, and we are a regional DMO, and we are working on the neighboring markets, which are for us Austria and Germany. So it's about who is the expected visitor in the region. So that's a destination. What should DMO do? That's the most important for preparing a strategy and also for preparing a budget. First of all is a creation of tourism products. It's not about just marketing, but it's more about working in the field and to prepare the tourism product. The tourism product itself is about connecting all the services in the area. Example, hiking in mountains in the region of the destination is one of the touristic product which has to connect the accommodation, restaurants or where to eat, and also the attractivities that has to be connected together and make a tourism product. DMO is more for domestic marketing when we speak about local destination management. Uh, that's what I'm expecting from your workshop or your group. It's more about domestic visitors, but also in coordination with national GMO. It's about preparing products for international visitors. Setting rules for local DMOs. It differs from the levels of DMO. So also a regional DMO can work with the local town DMOs that has something to offer. So setting rules for those DMOs that are under this regional one. Active business to business communication, as I was speaking on the first slide, it's more about communication and coordination. So active BNB communication is crucial for anything, for creation of product, for rules, for even speaking to the national level. It has to be connected to the business inside of the area. Cooperation with local, regional, and national DMOs. Uh, when we had here problems with anything with the tourism product or marketing strategy of Czech Republic, it's always a problem of cooperation on the local, regional, or national GMO communication. The cooperation has to be settled very clearly, and the cooperation has to be very intensively solved. Coordination of supply in the area. You have to know what's in the area, what's the capacity of the destination, and also what other services can you offer to the tourists. It's not about just accommodation and guides in the mountains or in the towns, but also it has to be connected to the transport. It has to be connected to the interpreters or other services that are connected to tourism. What is next? The next activities, information service in cooperation with information centers. Don't know how many information centers do you have on the in the destination, but those are the ones that inform the tourists when they come. So it has to have the complete information about the destination. Cultivation of area potential. First of all, I will speak later about the strategy of the DMO. Is to know what's the potential of the region. It has to be written on the paper, and also it has to be counted. That means how many visitors can the attractivity attract, and how many visitors are sustainable. So it's not overcrowded, and it has to be counted the potential of the destination. Destination branding and the implementation of marketing activities. That's only one point, and I show it just on the sixth slide, that the branding and the marketing activities are just one of the points that DMO should do. Advice to entities in the territory. The DMO should be like the information think tank. So it has to collect all the information from the area, from the national level, and spread it in the territory. And also, when the new touristic product is prepared, it has to inform the area what is being prepared, how can the accommodations or the employers can join the product and so on. And also very important thing is to monitor and effectivity implementation of activities. So it has to count what went wrong, what was right. Not every tourism or touristic product is successful. You have to count with many fails, because You can see that it's a huge potential for um, bike, and every visitor that comes is going to hike and not renting the bikes. So it has to be adjusted, or finding the problems inside, and you have to count how many people come to this the product, which product is used more, and then adjust all the system as well. Most important thing when you want to start the DMO, and I think that you are on the start right now, is the definition of destination. First of all, you have to start drawing a map of destination based on the attractivities and on the potential of the DMO. When you have just an administrative map of the destination, it's not working, and we have also some fails in Czech Republic, that there was a DMO that started just from above. So politics decided to settle a DMO. It was not working, and after 3 years, it ended. And then a new DMO that started on cooperation in the area. The DMO went smaller, but very much effective instead of the big one that was just administrative. First is the map. Then you have to evaluate the potential of tourism, not only not only attractivities, but all primary and secondary offer of the tourism. Means how many beds are in the area, how many people can get to the area by car, train, or plane. How many tourists can be on the walking pathways? How many how many people can serve to these people. So the potential is very important, because there are some destinations that wanted to settle a DMO, but they didn't have capacity. So the accommodation was full. There were only few people that were talking about tourism, and it was not working. It has to be calculated well. When you have the map and you know what's the potential of the destination, then you are prepared to establish a partnership in the area. You have to take the stakeholders and the big ones inside of the DMO, uh, either as a member of the DMO or a partner of the DMO. It's always very good to have the key players inside the DMO, because then the DMO knows what's not what just realized in the touristic season, but the DMO knows about the plans of the big partners, and they can adjust their strategy to these partners. Uh, Now we have a partnership. It's time to prepare a strategy for the first period. It's always hard the first 3 years, because the partnerships start, the products are being prepared, the target groups just starting to fit to the products, and for the or for some entities or organizations, it's hard to see that the first big results are after 3 years. It's not easy and fast way to get more tourists, but when it's done good, then the number of tourists are increasing very rapidly after this first period. So creating a strategy is about taking the products, taking a marketing strategy, and starting to calculate what is necessary, where should the DMO start as the first places, and also it is because you can measure if the DMO organization, if the employers and members of the board of the DMO if they are working. So you can after 3 years measure what's the progress, what was good, what should be done different way, or if the people working in DMO are doing their jobs okay. Uh, Next point is is about getting financial framework to the strategy, because you can have beautiful plans, but without money, it's always hard to do anything. So first, when you have the strategy, what to do is get the financial situation or a financial plan for the strategy. How much money would DMO need to make the results in the strategy. Uh, when you get the financial promises for the first years, then you can ensure the organization, employees, partners, where the organization sits, what's her addresses, websites, and other thing. That means that the organization is in a place on a sixth place. It's not the first step, and also we have examples here when the few people wanted to make a DMO in Czech Republic. They were just happy about it and want to do it as fast as possible. So first of all, they settled a new NGO that was called DMO. They were satisfied that they did it, but they had no partners in the region. They didn't know how much money it will cost and where the money will be from, and they didn't have the potential of the DMO. And they were trying to do it for 2 years, but they after 2 years they stopped the DMO, and it ended completely because they started with the organization and not with the potential, not with the strategy, not the points above. When you have the organization, then it's the time to secure financing. So you have the legal entity of the organization, and you can get the fundraising sources to the DMO to start work. And then you can launch the destination brand, which means not only the logo, but also the products and what's special about this DMO. How to start a DMO, I would say the most important aspect, and it's again here in Czech Republic, it's always about people. When there are people that wants to do the DMO for a long period, those people are best, and you have to find also people in the region as a member of the destination that are not only saying, "Hey, you are doing it right," but also showing what should be done, what's the problems, and what works and what works not. And also, it's important to find employees that are taking it not just like a job, but also like some kind of uh, satisfaction for them. I was talking about partners in the region. Partnership is very important in DMO, and it's about managing the partners as well. But where to find them, it's always hard. Uh, I was talking about it on the start of the presentation that finding big partners and also the main stakeholders in tourism in the region is very important. So first of all, start to speak to the big ones and showing them the advantages of DMO. Uh, those who have full capacities, it's for them hard to get to know what's DMO. For me, what helped here in South Bohemia was showing how it works in Austria. We have it on the border, so they saw that we want to use the methodology and techniques that are used 30 years and works. So you have to find active members of DMO as much as possible. I have here how much is enough. I wouldn't say enough. You have to have active members, not only that you have list of 30 members, but who are not communicating, who are not helping the DMO, it's always necessary to have members that are talking, that are bringing ideas, and bringing also support in the field. That's what should they do. 3C platform, it's one of the main points here in the national certifications in Czech Republic. We have to show how much do we communicate with the area, what's coordinated, and how the cooperation is worked. From first slide of my presentation, these 3 points are the main topics for DMO: communication, coordination, and cooperation. It always costs money, so few words about budget of DMO. Always you have to think about that it's not only about marketing expenses. For example, our ministry in Czech Republic, they want to pay just for marketing expenses, and the regions have to take the overheads. Those are the main costs in the DMO organizations that is harder to get from anybody. Those are personal expenses, office expenses, hardware, software, websites, and so on. These are harder to get financing from outside. So it has to be collected by the members to have the basic money for people working for first start and so on. Then there are marketing expenses, brand materials online. Those are more like project money. So you can use different sources for getting marketing expenses. And important in the budget is also expenditures inside the territory. You have to work with the accommodation, with partners. It's very necessary to have meetings inside of the territory for them to bring new ideas, to say how it works, what's working, what's not. So those are money inside of the territory, and also working with quality of services in the territory. And the blue one is cost of information collection evaluation. It's starting now in Czech Republic or in last year, but it's I would say one of the most important points. Don't forget to measure. So also it has some costs bringing to measure. Uh, the effects of DMO. I was saying that the first strategy should be for 3 to 5 years. The first big results is after the first 3 years, but you can see the first smaller ones, so smaller steps in 1 year period. Especially when you focus on foreign visitors, it's I'd say it's May, and now the travel agencies, they are finalizing their catalogs for people for the next year. So when you are not prepared now, then you miss the next season for the group tourism. It's the tourism is a long term activity, and the first results should be seen in 1 to 3 years in the numbers of tourists and in the income from tourism. Uh, Change is especially important for foreign visitors. On the domestic market, many towns and municipalities are active in tourism. They have their own information centers, and they are spending money in tourism. So on the domestic level, the DMO it's not so much seen, but for visitors, not only foreign visitors but from for foreign distances, the DMO is very important. Important is also that when you combine all the money from the region, it leads to savings. That means it's cheaper to get the money together in one budget of DMO Then when every partner of the destination pays their own marketing, pays their own products, and it's cheaper when it's done together. That was the reason why we started the DMO here, because the regional authority paid some of the money, some towns paid money for marketing, and we put them this money together and starting to do the marketing on a high level. I was talking all the time about how it works in Czechia. I would just to sum it up. We have three levels of DMOs. We have national DMO, that's Czech tourism, that is under the Ministry of Regional Development. We have 14 regionals. As we are South Bohemia, we are 600,000 citizens and 10,000 square kilometers region. We have 14 such regions in Czech Republic, but not all of them have their own regional DMO. We have it. We were one of the first in Czech Republic, and also we have local level. And on the South Bohemia region, we have 11 local DMOs that are working in the field, bringing the products, starting new communication, and we are on the regional level packing it up and showing to the travel agency, marketing it on the foreign markets, and working with the national level. What's the organization I come from? It's Tourism's Office of South Bohemia. We are 100% owned by the regional authority of South Bohemian region. And as I said, the activities are about the destination management. We are settled for cooperation, coordination, and also for managing the local 11 tourism districts. Uh, we started the system based on the Austrian model in 2015. What or how did we start it? We made a manual for local DMOs that when they fulfill some expectations with the region, with number of beds, number of overnights, then they get a certification from ourselves. And the certification was not just that the DMO have a certificate and beautiful paper put on the wall, but also they got the money from the regional authority. So the regional supports the local DMO in two ways. One is overheads and marketing expenditures. That's a donation of 70% up to some limit, and the expenses that are paid depends on marketing plan, outputs of the previous year, and quality of work and plan. Uh, it's yearly evaluated. The evaluation, we as a regional DMO are it's our job to make this evaluation, but those local organizations are independent organizations, and one of the sources is this regional money. Second type of support from the region to the local DMOs is that one employee per certificated DMO is 100% paid by the regional DMO. How it works? I have 11 employees here in the South Bohemia Tourism Office that are not in the office, but they are in the DMOs in the region. They sit in their local DMO, and I'm just paying them because I get the money from the region. It's the advantage is that they don't have to make projects just for the personal costs. They have the continuing payment, so that they are not afraid if they got the money for the next year or not, and they can work. So one person per local DMO is paid 100%. And the advantage is also for me because I have direct connection between regional and local GMO. When I need on the regional level to get some information from the territory. For example, now with the COVID time, I was asked from the ministry about how is the plan of accommodation on summer. So I asked those 11 people in the terrain and asked them for numbers, and I got it in some 4 hours. I have complete information about accommodation in South Bohemia. What's the accommodation rate for the July, August, and September in the hotels in South Bohemia. That's one of the very important points of DMO. They got the information, and that's why it's supported. So this was the regional level. On the national level, the certification started in 2018. The certification started because they saw it here in South Bohemia, they saw it in Austria, so they adjusted our system, and it was mainly done because there were some spaces where on the same destination there were 3 different DMOs that they didn't communicate between each other, and it was really a big problem with communication. So the certification started. The problem is that it is not connected to any financial support, so it's just a voluntary system, and we now trying to force ministry to put some money to this system. Uh, and one key point of it that the DMOs cannot overlays. That means that one village or one town can be only one DMO. Even when they cooperate with the other DMO, they can be a member in just one DMO, just because also the accommodation, the entrepreneurs in the area knows what is their contact point. So that's why. Of course, it's about money. So I just for inspiration, I just showing the how much money does the different levels have. Local DMOs in South Bohemia, the yearly budget, and it's a budget for a year. It's between 40 and 100,000 euros. uh, they working the main expenses are on personal and marketing one, but also for communication and for different activities inside. Budget of regional DMO, that means my level or my type of DMO, the South Bohemian Tourism Office. The budgets in Czech Republic varies from 400,000 up to 1.6 million euro, and the national DMO has a budget of 12 million euros. uh, 90% of those money are from public budgets, because we don't have a system that's connected, that's returning the money from entrepreneurs from their taxes directly to DMOs. So it's connected to the state, regional, and municipalities budget. The budget isn't high, I must say, because we are on one market, and when I see the budgets in Austria, which is 60 kilometers from here, the Austrian border, the budget is one null behind all those numbers. So it's hard to compete on the international tourism market. On the other hand, it's not so bad even for our work. So that's what we are working with. So that's the start of my presentation, and I'm prepared for your questions.
Thank you very much for this interesting presentation. I have a number of questions, but before I start, maybe we give floor to the participants of the webinar. ვინმეს კითხვები თუ გაქვთ, იქნებ დასვათ. I think Anna Zviadauri, I'm reading it as a text. So Anna Zviadauri's question is, how, on the example of Czech Republic, how is data collected in the region? What methods are used?
Yes, we have the map or the list of all attractivities. We have list of accommodation, and we have list of restaurants. When we need speed info, we just call them. Yearly, we are making statistics of numbers of visitors for the previous year. We have the statistics and about the accommodation. So we are in emailing communication with the partners in the area. We use also the statistics from Czech Statistical Office, which is on a very high level, and the only problem is that they don't count accommodation under 25 beds. So for them, we have two different analyses that we do yearly. One is that we collect or we are buying data from the cell phone operators, which means that everyone has a cell phone in his pocket, and the operators sell those data about who is coming to the region. So we have the data, who is coming for how long, if they go to some place, if they do also a trip to someone else, somewhere else, and it's very very in detail communication. Yeah, it's legal because we don't know the name. We just know where the person come from, so we know if he's from Prague, our capital, or different town, and we know his age, but we don't know the name. We don't know anything. It's approved by the national court. So these data are anonymized. So we can't get to the concrete person, but we know about the person very much. So those are one analyze, and second we do in the main season we do with in cooperation with university, we do analyze of the satisfaction of tourists. So we ask them, it's questionnaires that are in the whole region. We have more than 3,000 replies per year, and we asking how were you satisfied with accommodation, with transportation, with information center, and we do some small prices, so we have enough responses, and then we make these numbers between and uh, uh, and we balancing which DMO is better and where should they focus more, and so we do those analyses, and they are very very helpful for us.
My question is, what are the specific products or services that you promote on your website? That is my first question. Second question is, uh, does your website actually have a shopping cart? Like, can a customer purchase anything? And if so, what are the logistics of it?
Mhm.
And my third question is, what do you do on your low season? Obviously, with the fluctuations with the season change. So, how do you address that problem? And my last question is, do you have any cooperation with other DMOs in Czech Republic? And if so, how do you cooperate? How does it help you?
Okay. Specific products, services on website. We have not everything is just for website. We cooperate very strongly with tourism agencies from abroad. We cooperate with international boards of Czech tourism in Austria, Germany, and we make special materials for them. So, for example, the tourism agency, they didn't want to use our website as an information source. They We have to prepare it for them specifically. So it's very the work is very differs for different outputs. Uh, what's like the different from other regions? We have also materials for fishermen. We have special material for breweries. We have some six beer tours, and so they are on the internet source or website. The website of the it's called Jižní Čechy.cz. I will Čechy.cz. Just wrote it to the chat. Uh, it's completely served by the local GMOs. We do just the cooperation between them, but the data inside it's managed by the local DMOs. We don't have any shopping cart, and we sell just some merchandising products and so on, because we are not still not, and I would like to have it. We have not certification for tourism or for uh, the we can't sell the trips to South Bohemia. It has to be legalized, and the region doesn't want us to be the seller. So we are just preparing all the materials for the tourism agencies, and they sell it. So we are just the step before selling. We don't have nothing from it, but the our aim is to get more people to spend more in the region. So the our main task is not just to earn money. Low season. South Bohemia is specialized for the summer season. So we fight with the situation all the time, and what's for us is low season. We have two types of activities. One, on the autumn, we have many ponds here. So activities around ponds to get the fish harvesting season to use it for tourism, and also very high network of walking pathways and cyclopaths. So cycling and hiking is one of the most attractive for tourism to get it outside the main season. And cooperation in Czech Republic, yes, we have association of organization in tourism, and that combines, or the members are eight regional DMOs that's in one organization, and the main topic is to communicate with ministry how to adjust national strategy for tourism, cooperate with the associations of accommodation, association of mountain areas, and other associations. So we have this cooperation under the Association of Organization in Czech Republic. We don't have yet the Association of Local DMOs, and we are trying to get this our association to get enlarged, and to support also the local DMOs as well.
Uh-huh. Okay. Thank you very much. There are some other questions in the chat. I will read them out to you if that's all right. So a question from Nino Rachubia. Uh, uh, could you tell us, please, what are the plans or activities of the Czech government to cope with the COVID post-crisis in tourism flows this year?
Yes, the I'm a bit upset about our government because tourism isn't the main topic of the government for many years. We don't have a special ministry for tourism or at least a person that is responsible for all government to have tourism in his section. So on the national level, it's for us to harder. There are two types of activities that are prepared. One is a system of vouchers for domestic tourism to spend their holidays, this year holidays in Czech Republic, so that should help us to get Czech people inside of the Czech tourism industry and to support them spend. It's about some uh, 5,000 Czech crowns. That means some 200 euros voucher for everybody in for traveling in Czech Republic. So that's one point. Second point is they are making some uh, discounts on taxes for those who have closed because the tourism here is closed since 16th of March. So now it's almost 2 months, and the accommodation and restaurant should open 25th of May. So in some 2 weeks, 3 weeks also almost. So it's very hard for the entrepreneurs, and accidentally we didn't have any direct support from them, so they are trying to survive.
Okay, thank you. I think there's another question, but it was answered.
Yeah, I'd say in the South Bohemia. The end of the question is on the regional level. I was talking about the national level. The regional level helps us with the offer. That means the zoo and other museums that are on the regional level, they are discounting the fees up till the 50%. So it will help us to promote South Bohemia here in the domestic market because we have quite a big discount even for the main attractivities, and this is connected to the accommodation, so it's not for everybody, but for those who spend 2 and more nights in the region, they got from the accommodation certificate that they spent 2 and more nights, and they have the discount for all the regional attractivities. What is the approximate percentage of participation of total budget of DMOs on the regional level? State participation on the regional. So South Bohemian Tourism Office, I was talking about some. We have for this year we have 40 million crowns. That means some 125,000. Oh, sorry, 12 and a half. 1.2 million euros. And from this money for this year, we have from the state, we have zero. State has a national program for supporting tourism in the regions. We got money for the last year, but we have to almost half of it get back because the administrative barriers were so high that we couldn't do our activities what we wanted. For this year, the program was stopped and it's not open. So if it will be open, then we got some uh, maximum support of 100,000 euros, which means it's less than a 10% financing. For the last 3 years, we had quite big money from the EU funding, from the cross-border cooperation. We had three big projects, one with Germany, with Bavarian region, and two with Austria, Upper Austria and Lower Austria. So we cooperate quite high in this region. And I must say the cooperation is not only about money, but we are trying to do quite a big international project on the European region, which combines South Bohemia, West Bohemia, Upper Austria, Germany, and we are trying to make it. We call it the world beer region because all the three regions are very famous for brewing beer. So we cooperate quite a bit, even cross border, more than on a national level, I would say. And we also saying and trying to use the COVID situation now to open again discussion about the special law for supporting tourism because the system we started here in the region and also the national certification is voluntary. So we want to have a specialized law for of touristic sector saying who does what and to get also the DMO on the under the law and also to ensure the financing not to be every year on talking about budget for the next year and the activities we need to have long term. So we are now trying to open it and the ministry uh, they saw that without the rules when the crisis came they didn't have any numbers, they didn't have any contacts in the region, and they started to see that the DMO should have had the support from them to work with the entrepreneurs. Also, the national vouchers they didn't know how to do it, and they will uh, hopefully use the DMOs to get the information and also the vouchers from the entrepreneurs back to the national level. So now it's the crisis opened many eyes and they are now seeing us in different view.
My question is regarding promotion. How do you promote? Through television, through radio? What's your internet marketing strategy? And in percentage wise, how much do you spend on promotion per year?
More than half of the budget is for promotion. The rest of the budget is personal costs, overheads, and other communication. The marketing is every year we have like the strategies, not only one, but more because we have from last year we have divided the organization into three main branches. One is domestic tourism, second is close markets, and third one is outbound markets, foreign markets. So we are also dividing the money, the budget for those three sections, and every section has its marketing strategy. Then we have on the domestic, like the domestic marketing is connected to the yearly topic. We have topics for 2, 3 years. This year we are starting with South Bohemia Real Love because we wanted to show the region more originally without photoshopping, with local people inside. And the COVID came, but this topic is very connected also to the situation, so we are using it on domestic market. On the foreign markets, even on the close one, we cooperate with people from Czech tourism that are working abroad. So we have some budget of 1,000 euro for Austria and Germany, and it's not much in the big field, but we always choose the main market we are working on. Last year we had a very big event that was very effective in the main town in Upper Austria, which is some 100 kilometers from here, and we did there an event for 300,000 people in 3 days, and we completely set it the inside of the town was completely South Bohemian. For the last season, the increase of Austrian visitors more than 30% increase. So events online and offline. Online on the Czech market is I would say more than 60% now gets to online. Facebook, website, PPC campaigns, and we combine it with one big fair in Prague, which is the main touristic fair in Czech Republic, and also we do a small regional fair, which should have been in the end of April. We did special conference. It's called TravelCon for the fourth year. This was the fourth year. It was 14 days back, and we have more than 1,600 participants from all over the country. And it was completely online because we have the conferences are off because of COVID, but we did completely online. It was very successful, and we spread the information about South Bohemia not only to the people like the final consumers, but also to the travel agencies and other people from the branch. Because on Czech market, there are those are the stakeholders that are moving the market. Uh, Also, we cooperate with influencers, mainly on social networks, but also like the well-known personalities. We in South Bohemia have advantage because we are like the natural region for spending vacations. It was many years back. It was also from the some 13th, 14th century. All the noble families built their castles and chateaus here in South Bohemia because it's a beautiful region. So we are not now using their vacation houses to attract more tourists, and we are that's what's why we have so many tourists in summer, and we are working harder on the between seasons.
Thank you. Um, well, there are no questions, so I will ask one more. I think I'm asking all the questions. Um, so for starting a DMO now, considering this difficult situation with COVID-19, what would be your recommendation for starting a DMO? What are the first steps that they need to take to to become effective?
Okay. I would say that I was very intensively thinking about the presentation, about the steps. It's the steps are quite simple. First, write or draw a map, find what is in the map, then you can enlarge the map or shorten it. But you have to count how much potential does this the region have. That's most important. When you don't have enough beds, then you have no and overnights, and you don't have partners that can help you with the budget. If you have also accommodation, you have the attractivities, then it's about the negotiation in the region about the DMO. You have to have the region that has to have support. Without support from the regional governments or municipalities, it would be really hard to start anything for the first 2 3 years. Without the entrepreneurs, the accommodations will have to see first result to get also the financing and to help to get the support for the DMO. First 3 years, it's more about public money. Then it's about to start the touristic products. So it's about if it's about walking in the region, if what's in the summer, what in the winter, and to not to map what you have only, but what should be done. So it's like about also about opportunities. So when you have mountains, you can do ski areas. Not in 1 2 years, but for potentially it can open to this point. When you have uh, places for hiking, you will have to assign the hiking system in the region and prepare a map. But you can start working on this, and so you have the like the pool of possible products that is done, and then it's time for making a small strategy what should be done in what time, and then get the money for it.
Thank you so much. I think we have another question um, from Nino Jachubia.
No, the member of this organization is our Ministry of Regional Development, and if not Ministry, then the Czech Tourism as a national GMO, DMO, and the benefits. Uh, I must say I'm a member of many commissions, associations. I'm also the chairman of the Association of Organization in Tourism, and it's now the COVID time showed many commissions completely to nothing. They didn't know what to say. They didn't know how to do anything, and it ended up that the ministry have a small advisory commission that it's from 6 persons, and it's not about the associations. It's not about commissions, but about 6 people that are thinking about what should be done. And I even on the base of COVID, I decided to get off some associations and commissions because I see it's just about speaking, talking, and not working, and it's not for me. Yes. Uh, it's very important to communicate with the also with the entrepreneurs and with the small ones. We have many phone calls with them, even when we are saying them we are preparing a new campaign. We will come with you, and we for the this summer we have the campaign Summer in South Bohemia, and we want to have free capacities of the accommodation on the website. So first, and we have the connection to their reservation system, so without any provision. And even they say, "Oh, we have the uh, for the summer we have full, but we don't know how to survive up to the summer, but we are glad that you are calling and you are taking care of us." Even the communication helped those entrepreneurs that are small ones. It's all small and medium organizations. So it's very important for them just to DMO to speak to them and thinking of what would be next because it's very hard for them. No problem. And one of the things that changed through the COVID, I was expecting that I would most of you I would see in March when we had a plan with this project to for me to get to your region, and it's changed completely. But hopefully, I will get back to you or get to you as soon as possible, as COVID allows.
That would be great. I think there are no more questions. Thank you very much for your detailed and thorough presentation. I think most of our or all our participants now clearly understand how a DMO works and how they can take on this situation. Um, just for everyone to know, this presentation was recorded and it's gonna go on our YouTube channel, so you can follow up on that. If you can come back to it and clear up any concerns that you will have. And thank you very much for the presentation once again. And hopefully we can see each other soon.
Thank you very much, and hope to see you soon too.